Hello and welcome to Pitt Beyond the Script alongside head coach Jeff Capel. I'm Rob King. We're going to dive into some men's basketball talk right away. And Saturday, first time that you play an ACC game, the zoo, all the atmosphere. What was that like for you to see it and for the kids to experience it?
You know, it was incredible. We were very excited about it, very grateful for it, and very much appreciative.
This should be fun. Look at that Oakland Zoo bouncing, not only across the way, but also wrapped around to our right. Quite a sight.
To see the place full, to see the passion, to see the zoo rabid like it was, especially that first 8 minutes, to really feel it, you know, because we played well.
The rebound in the Pitt, hands up and in. Oh, yeah. That's Ellison just hanging right with it. And the game is tied. Shot won't go. Rebound is up and in by Undice Tony to make it 15-14.
I wish we could have performed better throughout the game. I thought we played hard. I thought we competed. But we played against a really good team. But again, I think it's a great sign that we were able to have that. It's a testament to the fans feeling a connection with this team, feeling a connection again with the program. And it's a great step in what we're trying to build here.
You said after the game that you felt like the team was a little overmatched. Did you mean by the magnitude of an ACC team, a top team, North Carolina coming in, or physically when you said overmatched?
Well, I think it's a little bit of both. You know, if I'm being completely honest, I think, you know, look, we are not going to be the most talented team right now. That's just the reality of it. But the thing that we have to do is that we have to control the things that we can control at a very high level. So we have to be smart. You know, we have to be incredibly connected all the times. We have to play hard.
But what an assist for Cam Davis.
And we have to be together. And I don't think we did all of those things all the time throughout that game. I thought we were a little bit overwhelmed by the whole situation. It's the first time they've run out where it's been that many people, where it's that type of atmosphere. It's the first ACC game, and it just so happens to be against one of the most storied programs in the history of college basketball. And so what can happen, and I think this happened at the under 12-minute timeout. It's a 15-14 game. We've played well. We've made some exciting plays. I thought we were exhausted because we expended so much energy because we're not used to having all of that energy. And I thought from that point, I thought that's where the game got out of control for us during that stretch.
Roy Williams was asked after the game what his preparation was like for your team and what he felt that he had to be wary of. He talked about how hard your team plays, the tempo with which you play. So as you talk about obviously wanting to win games now, but also understanding that the future is going to be maybe a little bit different, are those blueprints of what we're expecting to see?
Yeah, you know, that's an interesting question and a great question because it's something that, you know, we've talked about as a staff. So on one hand, because we don't have a lot of depth right now, you know, you could say, okay, we want to take the air out of the ball, you really slow it down and things like that. But we are trying to establish a culture as a staff and as a team. And the way I want to play is fast. I want to get up and down the court. I want to, you know, allow guys to have some freedom. And so in order to do that, we understand that we may take some lumps right now. We understand that, and we don't want to, but that's the reality of it. We may take some, especially against the North Carolinas of the world. But this thing is not just about this season and this team. It's about trying to build a program. And in order to do that, we have to try to establish our culture. And then hopefully as we recruit, people want to be a part of the culture that we're building.
The pace of the college basketball season is such that every 3 or 4 days you have a game, the kids have classes, they have other responsibilities, but I'm sure you want to teach them a little bit, okay, this is what happened against North Carolina, this is what we did well, what we didn't do well. How much time, is it enough time to impart that wisdom to the kids?
You know, it's challenging, but you have to make time for it. You know, is it enough? As a coach, you constantly feel like it's not. But you have to make that time. And so, you know, you have to give them a day off. Our day off was yesterday.
Our talking has to get better. It has gotten better.
So we have to come back, and now we have to get back, and we have to give them feedback from North Carolina to see, here are the things that we have to improve on. What I said, here are the things that we can control. We did not do a good job of this. Here are things we did do a good job with. So we have to learn that way so it doesn't continue to happen, the negative things. We have to try to correct those things right away. And you have to do it in a time frame because these games are coming now back to back. I mentioned earlier we don't have a lot of depth, so we have to be very smart about how much we do in practice and what we do in practice.
Anybody watching the game, if you attended the game, you can see some of the young Panthers players certainly did not look out of place on the court. One of those guys, Xavier Johnson, we're going to be featuring a little bit later on in the program. What can you tell us about Xavier on and off the court?
Well, on the court, he's talented.
Here comes X-Man. Not up and in there.
Yes.
He's a guy that's not afraid of work. He is naturally competitive, and he has a toughness about him.
Johnson, free pass to the rim.
I think he's grown so much during his short time here so far, and I think he has a very high ceiling, and that was something that was important to us when we recruited him. Off the court, he's a really good kid, very quiet, kind of straight-laced, serious, but he has a funny side to him that once he becomes comfortable in a situation, he'll open up and he'll allow you to see that. But he's a guy that really wants to be a good basketball player and is willing to put in the work to make that happen.
Oh, it's good, and we're looking forward to that feature coming up in the show. Coach, thanks very much. Good luck moving forward.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, stick around. We have more to come on Pitt Beyond the Script.